Hi, I'm Kathleen Mulcahy.
And I'm Ron Desmet. Together we created the Pittsburgh Glass Center.
Building a glass center takes persistence, time, energy, dedication, and devotion.
And artists should not do this. But sometimes the artists are the only ones that have the vision and know about the resources.
And really have the utter belief that it can be done. Seldom will you find anyone willing to take such risks with their own lives.
For this glass center, we went way out on a long limb.
Taking us pretty far away from our own creative centers to build better communities through the arts. Since the theme for this conference is transformational matter, we thought we'd develop a panel that was really an unpanel, or a panel transformed, if you will, and talk about the ideas surrounding social sculpting and community resurgence.
We thought instead of having a panel where everybody sits at a dais and talks about their programs and what they do in the community, we would involve artists that have joined our community and try to tell the story about how we and they are trying to change this community.
The Sprout Fund is a community nonprofit focused on supporting innovative ideas and grassroots projects that are catalyzing change in Pittsburgh. Our public art program is focused on supporting local emerging artists and creating a dialogue between artists and communities and improving the visual landscape of a community. So bringing artists outside of their studios into the public realm, working with communities to contribute to the overall revitalization of their neighborhood. Communities respond very well to murals, and often they are catalytic in helping for greater revitalization to a neighborhood. So you'll see that they frequently are beautified around the mural. They rarely are tagged by graffiti artists, that they really can be a terrific vehicle to help move a community along in its revitalization efforts. So we have a grant-making program. We have, I'm proud to say we're in our 5th year of supporting projects. We just reached over $1 million of support. So our projects run the gamut from art and culture, music, environment, outdoors, education, really servicing a demographic of 18 to 40 and recognizing that that population in itself isn't monolithic. So the types of projects that are being supported through this Sprout Fund, really all different kinds of projects that are helping to create community vitality, community interest, getting people involved in their community here in Pittsburgh, and hoping that through some civic engagement and investing in their ideas that they're more likely to stay in Pittsburgh.
Social sculpting, someone said, and that's true. We planned it, incubated it, wrote the first strategic plan, the business plan, developed all the resources, worked on it, tested it, built it until it became a reality. Days, nights, weekends rolled into one long, seamless discussion, worrying, planning, researching, testing, until finally, for better or worse, we move forward.
If you're people who believe in community beyond yourself, you have to think, what's missing?
I'm the president and CEO of Manchester Craftsmen's Guild Bidwell Training Center. And the center is primarily devoted to working with economically disadvantaged public school kids and adults. One half is a vocational program that trains people for industry and at commensurate salary levels that are affordable and provide people a gateway out of poverty into a successful life and career. Manchester Craftsmen's Guild is much more my autobiography, because once upon a time I was a public school student whose life was saved by a public school teacher in the arts who got me excited about clay, helped me get into the University of Pittsburgh, and while I was there I founded Manchester Craftsmen's Guild to repeat my experience with other public school kids as Mr. Ross had done with me. These days Manchester works with 500 kids each week in ceramics, photography, drawing, and digital imaging. We've become very successful in using the arts as a strategy to revitalize these children's sense of themselves, their imaginations, and their skill level. And that has resulted in over 90% positive college placement for 17 years in a row on behalf of the students that we work with. I think it happened in part because of my insistence and this bulldog sort of determination to play a role in the community's life where I live. Secondly, we feel that no community can really be successful unless it incorporates the entire spectrum of the population that exists in that community. The direct relationship of the community to our center is, of course, all the adults who come for vocational education and the kids who come for training in the arts. So we now impact hundreds of people each week directly with services that are provided by the center. We also, however, have a deeper relationship with the public school system in that we have faculty essentially in every public school, high school in Pittsburgh public school system. So it's a significant commitment to using art as a strategy to become a part of the improvement of public education and the welfare, particularly of at-risk and challenged kids.
Vision is important, and good people come into the community and can see there's a hole, there's something that we need to mend, we need to do something here. But vision isn't enough, it's implementation.
So I started imagining buying property in Pittsburgh after I had to give up a beautiful loft I had in Williamsburg because it had electromagnetic radiation. So I had a loft, I gave it up, it was radioactive, and really realized that coming back to Pittsburgh permanently would mean that I could buy property, have the time I needed to create art projects, have the space I needed to create art projects, and slowly start working towards a larger goal, which was creating a new media center that I had imagined while being a grad student. So I came back, bought a little house in Lawrenceville, and then started conceptualizing the larger project of having a new media center. 2 years later, the house that we're in right now, that we refer to as the Hatfield House, came up for sale, and we did a renovation and turned it into an artist residency space and gallery space and workshop space. We invite artists to come in from other cities, international or national, and they are provided the time and space necessary to create projects. Now, we're mostly interested in having people come in that do community-based projects. And what's clear to me is that I'm able to do this project at a scope that I definitely could not do in New York. It's really a unique experience to Pittsburgh. And so while I'm doing this, I've created a nonprofit organization, Society for Cultural Exchange, that the residency space and gallery space exists under that umbrella. While I'm doing that, I'm still able to maintain my own art practice and work on my own projects. So somehow I'm able to have simultaneous careers in Pittsburgh, and I don't believe that there is another city where I could do that as effectively. I do believe that is unique to Pittsburgh.